Messed up right there. Hey, welcome to Bears Banter, the season premiere, season opening for Chicago Bears and the NFL. My name is Bernard Muhammad. Tonight on the broadcast, we have sitting in as a guest is Mo Cross,
Hey,
Jay
what's going on?
Tammy Harris. Guy Moore won't be able to make it tonight, him or Keith Flournoy, and brother Tyler Muhammad is going to be on. Hey, how are y'all doing tonight?
Good,
I'm good.
man.
I'm good. I'm good.
They're doing good. Great. Okay. Hey, Jay, when we was talking offline, you sound pretty excited about the season. How you feeling, brother?
I'm excited. It's a total rebuild, and the way I'm looking at it, we got 15 rookies that made this squad out of 53 players. We got 15 rookies. 64% of the roster is a turnover from last year. And I like the coaching staff. I think they came in kind of, I don't want to say kind of with a college rah-rah thing, but it's a better coaching staff. And I'm looking forward to a few surprises this year.
Okay. Hey, Tammy, I see you sitting. You in your studio right now. What's going on with you before we get to the broadcast? You working on some new music?
Well, I'm working on new music, but I'm getting ready for a show. That's October 22nd. So I'm demoing some of the songs. We're gonna do a Shy versus Philly Soul show. It's gonna be Teddy Pendergrass versus Donny Hathaway and Shaka Khan versus Phyllis Hyman.
Okay.
So demoing some of those songs.
Okay. Hey, Mo, what you got going on right now as far as football wise?
Football wise, I'm 100% locked in. So whether it's college or the pros, so especially let's go Wolverines for Michigan, and let's go Bears.
Uh-oh. Me and Mo got a problem.
That's your rival, right? Ohio State.
Oh, man.
We got a problem, but we okay. We good.
We'll see y'all in the championship game.
Indeed. Yes, indeed.
Hey, we got some exciting things going on Bears Banner this season. This is our third season for those who are new to the program. We added some new things this year, to keep making this podcast grow. So we wanted to start off before we just jump into our predictions about the season opener last night. Well, Buffalo played. I'm trying to think who the Buffalo played.
The Rams.
The Rams. So I'm sorry,
Rams.
Super Bowl champs Rams. What did y'all think about that game? I mean, did everybody get a chance to watch that game last night?
It wasn't no contest. It wasn't no contest.
Hey, what's happening, brother? How you doing, brother Talib?
What's happening, family? How you brothers doing? And lady?
Yeah, how you doing, brother? Hey,
all right, hey, if you can rotate your camera sideways, that'll give us a more full view.
You been singing for us, Tammy?
Huh?
Have you been singing for us before?
No, I wasn't singing, but I am singing. I'm working on some stuff in the studio. But I took a quick break to give my predictions. So we're gonna see who stick with our team and who go with the 49ers.
Right. Hey, Jay, what did you think about the game last night? What was?
It's one of those things where when you come out of the Super Bowl champion and you at home, but you got a team that's been touted to go to the Super Bowl, and they come out and they just do you the way you shouldn't, the way you don't want to be done. That's what I thought about the game last night. I'm gonna tell you, Josh Allen, who was again one of the quarterbacks that I wanted, on this team. Every year I come out with a quarterback. Ooh, I want him. But Josh Allen just showed that how he's matured over the last few years. And that stiff arm he put on that linebacker or corner or safety or whoever it was to get that first down, I'm like, okay, you know what? Yeah, they for real. And it was 10-10, and then I actually switched because I was trying to watch the White Sox, which I'm not a White Sox fan, but I'm a sports fan. And I turned back to the game. It was 31-10. I was like, oh my God. I was like, I can turn this off. That's it. That's it. Jalen Ramsey looks like a shell of himself. I don't know what it is, but when you pack your team with stars like the Rams have, which is how they got their Super Bowl, you know, they traded for Stafford, they traded for Jalen Ramsey, they signed Allen Robinson, you know, they drafted Aaron Donald, you know, they signed I think it's Bobby Wagner. They signed him. You know, when you put your team in this element where you trying to stay in win mode and it don't work out, and I know it's reaction Friday because they lost yesterday. But man, the Rams looked bad last night and the Bills look good.
Okay, I know when we were texting early in the game, I'm like, this is about to be a battle, right? And it ended up being a blowout. You know, it was, when looking at it, what you could actually see also was there is some value to OTAs and working with players in the off season, even though the wins and losses may not mean a lot. But you could clearly see, even with the issue with Stafford's arm, you could see there was no work done with any of his receiving core. He basically was just staring down Cooper Kupp the whole game, and most of the other guys went untargeted, or if it was just because he was running the whole night. I believe he was sacked about 7 times.
Seven times.
And, yeah, and I believe he threw about 2 interceptions. But Josh Allen, that guy's a beast, man. When you look at, like, he literally was like John Riggins playing football. Playing quarterback. He literally was taking off and not sliding. Like, hey, I'm challenging you. You know, hey Mo, what did you think about that game last night?
So as far as on the Rams part,
did he freeze?
You heard me?
Yeah, I hear you.
So as far as
I think Mo looked like he froze. There you go, Mo.
As far as on the Rams part, I saw rust and lack of chemistry. You know what I'm saying? Like, I seen basically Stafford, he doesn't know any other receiver except for Kupp. That's what it looks like. To piggyback off of what we was talking about off camera, Allen Robinson did catch one ball. He had like 2 targets, but it was like
I missed that. I missed it.
You would have missed it because it was pointless, you know, at that point. But on the other end, on Buffalo's end, you saw a team that's, they the Super Bowl favorites this year. You saw the chemistry. You saw him throwing to every receiver. Yeah, Stephon Diggs was the man. He showed that he was the man. But at the same time, on the other end, you saw how much Von Miller created a pass rush for Buffalo. Because last year, Buffalo only had 42 sacks for the whole season. Even though they had the number 1 defense, they couldn't get to the quarterback. But that game last night, man, bro, they had 7 sacks. So that's, you know what I'm saying? You multiply that, they can get that in 6 games.
Right.
So you saw the killers come alive last night, man.
And it's one of those things, where I ain't trying to, don't get me wrong, Bears Banter Nation, I ain't trying to get it wrong. But at the same time, I looked at it last night. I'm like, okay, who was the last player that flipped squads? That they flipped squads and they wind up being on another squad that wind up winning the Super Bowl. And I likened Von Miller to Deion Sanders. Because I remember when Deion Sanders played with the Cowboys, and then he left the Cowboys and went to the 49ers.
Yeah.
And he had just as big of an impact with the 49ers as he did with the Cowboys. And I'm like, wow. I'm like, okay, Von Miller because he was relentless last night. And I'm like, oh my God, this dude, the left one squad, after the game, he was like, yeah, he's like, I love them brothers over there, but at the same time, I'm still trying to get mad. So, the Bills put a step on that stuff last night. They put a step on that stuff last night.
They had the perfect game plan, man.
Yeah, they did. They did.
They had Josh Allen passing the ball, I think, and I think the quarterback count was like 2.2 seconds. That was like that's one of the records for how fast he was getting the ball out. Because Aaron Donald was on the other end. They wasn't giving him a chance to even stand up. He was getting the ball out quick. So,
and not only that, the receivers was open.
Yep.
Anytime you throw in 2.2 seconds, receivers are open. Yep. So you talk about separation. You talk about separation real quick. Yep. Receivers are open at 2.2 seconds.
Yeah. Hey, Tammy, did you get a chance to see the game at all last night?
I checked in on the score here and there. I was surprised that it was a blowout. I expected it to be a closer game. I didn't know who was going to win. I kept going back and forth, but I thought it was going to be a tighter game. Okay. But it was a blowout.
Yeah. But Talia, what did you get a chance to watch the season opener last night?
I didn't watch the game. I did. I was trying to pay attention to my Sky, and that was disappointing.
Oh man.
It was.
But I didn't watch the game, but I did look some highlights. And I expected it to be closer. But you know what? I'm trying to remember. Didn't the Rams start off slow last year?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, I think they started off slow last year. You'd have thought they had a little bit better chemistry this year, but I think that Buffalo's ready. I don't think the Rams are done. I think the Rams will still be there at the end of the season, but Buffalo is ready. But there ain't no doubt about that. Buffalo is they gonna be in barring injury or some unforeseen circumstance. I see them in the championship.
Okay,
they're a good team. They were ready last year. They're a good team.
They're good.
I'm gonna look at it like this. Before we get to the game of the week, I'm gonna pull up some of the NFL schedule. Let me pull up the NFL schedule that we have coming up. And do any of you have a game of the week that you want to watch? It's something else I wanted to add this year. Game of the week. My game of the week is going to be the Patriots versus.
That's mine too.
Yeah, I want to see that game because this is a game where both teams are trying to determine if that quarterback is they're going to be their quarterback going forward. This year.
That's so true.
And over the years, the Pats have dominated that division, and I think they've lost a few to the Dolphins over the year. But this is a swim or sink, especially for the Dolphins, because they invested a whole lot around their quarterback to see if he's the guy. And we're going to know pretty early on if he's not the guy. Hey, who else? Who else got a game of the week?
My game of the week is the Vikings and the Packers. The Vikings and the Packers, because Kevin, what's his name? Kevin McConnell, I believe is their new head coach, Kevin McConnell, for the Vikings. I want to see if he could actually get Kirk Cousins to actually win a ball game. Kirk Cousins is a statistical guy, but he can't win. He can't win the big game. So for them to start off with the Packers, that's my game of the week. And also on the Packers side, I want to see with no Devontae Adams. And I know Aaron Rodgers, and I still say, as much as I hate the Packers, y'all know I'm an Aaron Rodgers fan. I want to see if Aaron Rodgers can make do with his receiver core. And it sounds like Lazard not going to even play this week. So now you without your top wide receiver, and you going on the road against the Vikings. I want to see how that's going to play out. So that's my game of the week.
Okay, that's your game of the week. Okay. Anybody else got a game of the week?
Yeah, I got the Raiders at the Chargers. I mean, this is the game. I think this is going to be one of the biggest rivalries because remember last season the Raiders snuck in the
Yep.
playoffs by beating the
Yep.
Chargers. And now
Yep.
the Chargers, they got Khalil
Yep.
Mack, they got
Yep.
Joey Bosa. You know, they always had a Justin Herbert. This is gonna be his make or break year. They got him as the leading MVP candidate. You still got Austin Eckler at the running back who can do it all. You got Keenan Allen, you got Mike Williams.
Receiver
So
core is killing.
it shouldn't be an excuse for Justin Herbert. But then on the other side, on the Raiders, you got Derek Carr teaming up with his old his old college buddy, Devontae Adams, arguably one of the best receivers in the league. So, and then you still got Darren Waller at the tight end. So it's a game of matchups and it's a game of hate, like rivalry hate. So make that division overall, the AFC West, probably is the best division in the league right now. For real.
Yes, indeed. I agree. I totally agree. I
Okay.
totally agree.
Yeah.
Hey, Tammy, Talia, do y'all have a game of the week?
I'm
We're trying
just
to
gonna
help
say
folks out with the football pools.
I'm just gonna say that my game of the week is my Bears because I'm
Okay.
ready to see what we gonna do when it counts. I want to see what we really working with. So
Go
I'm
ahead,
excited. I
Tammy.
want to see how it all comes together, and I'm ready for us to surprise some people.
Yeah, facts.
Yes, I am too.
Tammy, keep it real. She like dialing, and dialing. My favorite rappers. No, mine was also New England and Miami because I really wanted to see Tyreek Hill's impact on Miami. He showed something in the preseason. He's that it don't matter if you can get the ball to him. You know, it's a good thing. So I'm just curious to see the impact on that and whether or not the Patriots, have anything with their new, setup.
Are they for real?
Yeah, it should be interesting, and it should be a track race, man. If indeed Tyreek gets set free.
Okay. Hey, I'd like to thank everybody who's watching us tonight on Facebook and YouTube and Twitch TV. And please hit the subscribe button below if you're watching on YouTube or Twitch TV. And if you're on Facebook, join the Bears Banter Facebook group. And also, I'd like to send a shout out to all the different Bears Facebook pages. I know I can't remember them all. Chicago Bears Atlanta, Chicago Bears fans, Chicago Bears real fans, Chicago Bears real talk. And like I said, number one is Bears Banner talk.
Banner.
Yeah.
Banner.
So, we got our games of the week, kind of giving folks out there a little help as far as they turn in their pool. They probably already turned it in today, but that's okay. So, hey, as far as that, I want to do something else tonight also, which is I'm calling it 2 for 2, where you pick your bottom two teams. And what made me think about it, because there's so many people kept saying, the Bears are the worst team in the league and all that. And I don't believe that. So I decided let's come up with, for this week, who you think are the two top teams without any games played and who are the two bottom teams. The two bottom teams for me, I definitely believe is going to be the Jaguars and the Panthers are going to be, for me, the worst teams in the league. As of right now, without playing many games, the two top teams I'm going with I'm going to go with the Bills and I'm going to go with the Chargers.
Okay.
What you got, Jay? I see you.
Okay. My bottom two teams are the Houston Texans and the New York Jets.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Those are two teams on our schedule, but I'll say that for a later time. But my bottom two teams are the Texans and the Jets. My top two teams, I got to go with the Bills. And unfortunately, as much as I hate them,
No.
I got to go.
I know you're not about to say that.
Y'all already know what I'm going to say. The Chiefs.
Okay.
Those are my top two teams.
I thought you were going another way, bro.
Because I'm gonna tell you, until the Chiefs get knocked off, outside of the AFC Championship game, they still a top team. And if you look at their schedule, this year will show if, like my coach used to say, who's won the zoo. They first 8 games are against playoff teams from last year. So if they can come out of that 6-2, 7-1, 5-3, the Chiefs are the real deal. And as long as they got Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid, I can't go against them. And those are 2 teams. My top 2 teams are from the AFC, the Bills and the Chiefs.
Okay, hey, who's up next? Who's your top 2, bottom 2?
I'll tell you this. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Ain't gonna be nobody in the NFC. On the top part, I think the championship goes through the AFC. So the Bills, definitely the Bills. And I was teetering on that second pick, but I like the assessment on Jay's assessment on the Chiefs. I do. Because I mean Mahomes, man, you can't count that guy out, man. That guy he is the real deal. Even without Tyreek, he is going to make it happen. He's just that talented. And I like the bottom. I have to say that the Jets definitely. And I'm not gonna put Lovey in that, man. I'm gonna give Lovey the benefit of the doubt. I'm not gonna do Lovey like that, man. So I'm gonna say maybe the Panthers. Okay, I'm gonna go with the Panthers. I'm gonna say Lovey gonna pull some wins out. You know, in Lovey we trust. You know, but he's hurting over there. He's hurting.
He hurting.
It's a rebuild, man.
I hope he gets an opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
Right. I hope they don't just say, he didn't win and they can get him out of it, because they really had no plans for him being there. Right. It was all that racism stuff that caused that to happen. So Lovey just inherited a team that he wasn't gonna get probably maybe sometime soon. He might have gotten it, but but I think Lovey can coach in this league. I think he's a great coach. Honestly, I do. And I think that he'll get a chance to, if he gets a chance to build that team back up, I think he'll do it.
Because who was at the Chargers a few years ago that had a black coach and they fired him after one season? I want to say it was the Chargers.
They fired him. That was Bowles. No, that wasn't Bowles. That was
was that the Chargers? That was
Chargers.
Anthony Lynn, I want to say it was.
Nah, I can't think of his name, but they fired him as soon as they found out Justin Herbert could play.
Yeah.
when they figured he knew how to play and he had to put him in the game, they was like, all right, this is not the right coach for him.
I want to say his name was Anthony Lynn. I want to say off the top of my head. Off the top of my head, I want to say it's Anthony Lynn.
Okay.
Yeah, it might have been.
Hey, First Lady, what you got? Who's your top 2 and bottom 2?
Well, Jay, I thought you were gonna say the Packers. That's why I was like, no.
Me too.
Jay's picture would have slowly disappeared off the screen.
Right.
But no, I think the Bills, and I can get with the Chiefs too. I like the Chiefs, but the bottom, I was gonna say the Jets, but I don't know for my second team. I don't know if Detroit is gonna climb out of the bottom. Let's see. But Detroit is my second.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's 4 good picks. So I'm gonna say, as of right now, because we going off the hype, the Bills. I still don't say the Bills. I got I actually have Cincinnati, and I got the Chiefs. So that's my top 2, and then my bottom 2, I got to roll with Detroit, and I got to roll with Atlanta, man. They're
Atlanta's gonna do better. I'm not an Atlanta fan, but Atlanta's gonna do better this year.
Yeah. See, because that defense was horrible.
They're not gonna win the game that I'm going to that Chicago is playing, but they're gonna be better.
Hey, I see. Matter of fact, hey Jason, I got to get you back on the program. I know I haven't brought you on since early last year. Jason Braza said his top 2 is the Bills and the Rams. His bottom 2 out of Texas and the Jaguars. But yeah, Jason, I'm gonna reach out to you in a few weeks to bring you on this program. That's one of Jay co-workers. Jason Braza.
Absolutely.
He did an excellent job when he was on here. Okay, hey, okay, so we got our top two. Okay, hey, let's talk about what are the strengths and weaknesses of the Bears as they go into this game. We don't have much, right now we don't have any rankings like we normally do on a prediction show where we show what a team is ranked offensively and defensively. So some of the strengths and weaknesses right now is kind of speculation. Anybody want to start off? What are the strengths and weaknesses of the Bears? What you
I'll
got?
start. Coaching.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
coaching is a strength. Oh my goodness. I am so liking the discipline that they've showed so far. And you can see that stuff translates to the regular season. We're not talking about, playing against top competition and catching the ball or throwing the ball and having time to throw the ball. That's something different. Discipline, stand in your stance, listening for the count, reacting with your quarterback, connecting with that. They're gonna win some games because of that. I'm convinced they're gonna win some games because they've been coached well and they listened well. So coaching and discipline. I like what they're gonna bring to the running game. I think they're gonna run really well this year, and I think that's gonna have a big impact on the front line, the offensive line, and how Justin Fields responds to that opportunity to have a little bit more time to throw the ball, because I think they're pretty deep at running back. I want to see Ebner. I want to see that boy play more than I want to see Hebert play. He's legit. They put it this way, he gonna be in Dave Montgomery's shoes. He got the Bears out. They're gonna get rid of the running back. And but weaknesses is just there is talent wise. They just don't have a go-to person. If things get rough, who do we go to? The Packers would be like, let's go to Devontae. They don't really have that person. And I think the other weakness is probably going to be, I wouldn't even say they defensive backfield. It's obvious to say the line. I don't really want to go there because we really don't know what we're going to get from the line. If they discipline, then they may be okay. But I just think maybe some intangibles, just having the confidence, showing the confidence. But I don't know whether that's going to be the case. So that might be a bit of a weakness.
Okay. And I think the strengths and weakness, I believe the strength is the team going to be the coaching staff. One of the weaknesses are going to be is not enough talent overall. But another strength, I think, is going to be the Bears' defense. I think the Bears' defense is going to be pretty good, especially the secondary. I believe the secondary is going to I think they're going to get some picks this year. I think they're going to get a lot of picks this year. And I think the Bears' defense is going to create a lot of turnovers just by hustling for the ball. I think as it go on, hopefully if we could get some of the people on the field like Velus, Jones, you may see some of the shift as far as strength in receiving core. But that's what I have right now as far as not being able to see a game to be able to determine. Anybody else on the strengths and weaknesses of the Bears?
I think on defense, it's our defensive line. That's because I don't know what's going to happen inside. I don't know what's going to happen inside. So I think that if we can stop the run, I'm not even really concerned about bringing the pressure off from the outside. But I think Justin Jones and Angelo Blackson are the two interior guys. I think that's where our weakness is on defense. Our secondary, not really worried about it. Our linebackers, not really worried about it. The coaching staff, listen here, man. We won 6 games with Coach Nagy last year. We won 6 games with a Mickey Mouse offense
and a tough schedule.
So that's I think where my weakness is on defense. But I think our strengths on offense is going to be running the football and being able to get Justin Fields in a position to make plays, which is what we kind of saw in the preseason where he did the bootlegs, the rollouts, and those things. Um, having guys come having guys come back because we didn't see Byron Pringle the entire preseason. We got a lot of unknown people, but I'm gonna tell y'all, those unknown people, I think, is gonna make a difference. I really do. Call me drinking the Kool-Aid, and I heard a term today, smoking what they call smoking the home beer, smoking the home beer. I'm at that point right now because we don't know what's gonna happen. And I told Bernard and I told Guy a couple of weeks ago, every year these schedules are set up for somebody to go from worst to first. I'm not saying the Bears are going to win the division, but I'm gonna tell y'all, looking at the Bears schedule, these national people talking about the Bears gonna win 3 games. I can name 5 off the top of my head that they should win. So those are the weaknesses that I see: the defensive line and the offense being able to move the football.
Yeah, and Jay, you know when people say that on national TV, it makes me wonder what NFL they watch, because it is very hard to only win 3 games in the NFL. It is very hard. I mean, you had to have a whole lot of stuff to go wrong. I mean, of course, we have example of Detroit, but those are teams that are extremely bad. But most teams in the NFL, when you look at the schedule, they win at least about 5 games. You may have 2 to 3 teams that win 4 or less. It's extremely hard, because the schedule is set up for, if you're a bad team, it's set up the next year to try to give some kind of parity. And unless, like I say, if you have like a string of events or a team is really just trying to lose games near the end where they're just not playing players or players, a lot of injuries, it's hard to just win 3 games in the NFL. I mean, mediocre is the problem with a lot of teams, right? A lot of teams, the problem is they stay mediocre all the time. They always stay around at 6 wins or 7 wins, and they're never able to capitalize on being able to draft higher. That's what the problem with some teams are, because they stay in mediocrity too long. But anyway, let's get back to the strengths and weaknesses. Did everybody give all the strengths and weaknesses?
I think.
Well, y'all already know that I think the defense is gonna be a weakness, and y'all know why. So we ain't gonna rehash that. And it didn't
I
happen.
don't. Let me know why.
I know why. I know why, Terry.
I
I know why,
already think that. I don't think our defense is going to be as strong as it could have been or should be, but I don't know if they're going to be terrible. I mean, I'm still kind of on the. I don't know what I don't know yet. I'm hoping. Right. I mean, the coaching is an upgrade. I don't know if it's a strength yet, but it's an upgrade. The run game looks good. The play calling definitely looked better from the preseason games. They had a good mix of run and play action, so that was good. I do think the Bears are going to do much better than people are saying. We are not going to be one of the worst. We're not going to win only 3 games. I mean, last year, truthfully, if it wasn't for the coaching, we would have won at least 9 games last year.
Right,
at least.
So I'm like, it's crazy. It's lunacy for them to say that we only going to win 3, because we're not that bad. We're not where we want to be, but we're not that bad. Justin Fields is growing. He's finding his rhythm. He's getting better. So I think some things are going to come together. I don't know how quickly they're going to come together, but I think the Bears are going to do better than people are giving them credit for. But unfortunately, probably not as well as we fans would hope that they would do.
Real quick, I just want to answer somebody's question that said Akeem Hicks looking like a mountain in Tampa Bay.
Oh,
yeah, he looked like a mountain here, but guess what? Can he stay on the field? That's one of the things that I'm glad that this new regime came up with. Like everybody that ain't staying on the field, we can't pay them. We can't pay them. Like I said, we won 6 games last year. without a team. How many games did King Hicks play last year? How many
I think he
games did
played
Khalil Mack play last year?
6 or 7.
You know what I'm saying? Man, look. I'm happy with what this regime is doing right now. Because the bottom line is, if you're going to start over, start over. And like I said, with 64% of your team all new, with 15 rookies making your 53-man roster, I'm okay with that. But I still say, as Tammy said, we're not the worst team. I can name 5 teams off the top of my head on our schedule that we should win without even looking at the schedule. So we'll see what happens.
Okay. What you have, Mo?
As far as strengths and weaknesses, you really can't pinpoint one section. I know the weakness is always going to be the offensive line. This is more of a evaluation year. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly.
as you can see,
Exactly.
they didn't sign anybody long term. So this is more of a tryouts. So you're going to base it off of, like, I'm looking at Jenkins. They put him at, right guard. And then I'm looking at also Braxton Jones, just to see what they do on the offensive line, because maybe they can start something and they can fill in holes after that. But I'm not putting too much on the team to go crazy this year, but I do know that they're going to be way better than people say. I was looking at one of the commentators. He said that I think it was Dominique Foxworthy. He said that he wanted
Who?
Justin Fields to hold out only in year 2. You're not even giving the man a chance to make it. He basically said the Bears aren't building anything around him. This is a whole different regime, man. It's a whole different front office. The guys upstairs totally different. They brought in Bill Poland to actually do some consulting to help out the young guy, the young GM. So he's not just a young GM who's making some crazy decisions. You got veterans behind him, helping him pull the strings and making the right moves. So by them not re-signing all these guys, that's gonna save a lot. We're gonna have a lot of cap money next year to sign some people. And trust me, people love Justin Fields. They see the talent.
Can you imagine though? And I know I'm getting ahead of myself before game 1, but just imagine if we go a 16 games, a 17 game stretch, and you got Braxton Jones as your left tackle, and you got Larry Bourne as your right tackle. Those are 2 fifth-round draft picks.
Yeah.
2 fifth-round draft picks that can actually solidify your line for the next 7, 8, 9, 10 years.
Yeah.
And that happens, Jay. That's real.
Yes,
you see players coming like that. I mean, Tom Brady, 6th-round draft pick. You see players coming out of those lower rounds who get overlooked sometimes because of conferences. I mean, Braxton came out of Utah State.
Right.
Come on,
Southern Utah, whatever.
They won like 1 game last year.
Yeah.
But that didn't mean that he didn't play well.
I think Jenkins is he has like the nasty attitude that you would need on the line. So if you touch Justin Fields wrong, he's the one who'll get in your face, pull your, he did it a few times last year when he did play, and Nagy kind of pulled him to the side, and I think that discouraged him because he couldn't be who he was. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the type, like, he's like an Olin Krupps. He'll get in your face. You're not going to touch Jay Cutler, even though Jay Cutler have a bad game. You're not going to touch Jim Miller, even though Jim Miller's having a bad game. But they defend their team regardless. They loyalists. So I think that's the type of,
from the way that they responded when he got hit.
Right.
When he got hit, I think it's a lot more than just 2 players. I think the culture now is take care of your quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to be.
Yeah. So, hey, what we have? We have Bears and 49ers week 1 game. What do we have on the injury report? Really don't have much on the injury report so far. It looked like, is George Kittle's going to play?
No, I think
I don't think he's going to play.
Very doubtful.
Okay. They had him down as earlier today. I know it said did not practice, so it looked like he's not going to play. and what's that? Daniel Burskett. And then on the Bears side, Velus Jones is out. Dominique Robinson is out. He's a defensive end. Byron Pringle and Lucas Patrick is questionable, but I'm going to say I don't see how Lucas play because, especially at center, because you got to have some work at center with the quarterback. I mean, you don't want to create no quarterback center fumbles because they haven't got any work together. But hey, now we're getting down to the good part, the predictions. But hold on, let's take a break right quick.
I can't help you to see, show you how to believe in love. Find a way, find a way, if you open up to it. 'Cause love finds a way, find a way, when you give yourself to it. From the very first day, I felt you inside my body and mind. You touched me deep in that place that nobody has been, and I'll never feel.
Is that
Hey, I
Tammy?
want to get that song. I want to get that album. Where they saying that at?
Hey, Tammy, you want to share with those who just tuned in, who missed the beginning of the show, what you have going on in a few weeks in Atlanta, right?
Yeah, in Atlanta. It's actually October 22nd. It's going to be at Emory Performing Arts Studio. It's Shy versus Philly Soul. It's Donny Hathaway versus Teddy Pendergrass and Shaka Khan versus Phyllis Hyman. And I'm actually at the studio right now, so I was going to ask to give my prediction first because I got to go get back in the booth.
Okay, what you have? You want to do it now, or you want to? We could probably
Yeah,
do it in the next 7 minutes.
I'll do it now. And I went back and forth about who I was going to pick. And I didn't have time to look it up, but if I remember right, I don't think that last year San Francisco blew us out of the water. I think it was a competitive game. I can't remember if we won or not. I wanted to look it up. But I don't think that San Francisco is a sure loss for us, and I think we could possibly surprise some people. So I'm going to optimistically go with the Bears and say the score is going to be 24-20.
Okay, so we got your pick, Tammy.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
The Bears.
So I'm gonna say this first. We all starting with a clean slate this year.
But you got somebody with
0-0. See, I already got quick losing two already. Quick, I was talking that smack, so I'm gonna give them two off the bat. No, I'm just playing. But anyway, we get to that part as far as that. Any other things y'all want to discuss before we get to the predictions?
So I gotta go.
Okay, Tim.
Okay, Tim.
I have a good time.
All right.
Bye.
Y'all ready? And also those who are watching out there on Facebook, YouTube, please put your predictions down there and we can read them. Actually, I see one prediction already here. I don't see the name, but the one prediction Facebook user says Bears win 27-20. Okay.
24.
Giving us numbers, huh?
What's that? I'm sorry, 27-24. Thanks.
27-24.
Yep. I do have Guy's prediction. Guy couldn't make it on the show tonight. Guy gave his prediction. Guy prediction is the Bears 28 and San Francisco 24. Tammy just gave 24-20. As a matter of fact, Plank, we're not going to accept your prediction of 2-0 this year. I didn't get Plank's. I did get Quick's prediction. Quick has San Francisco winning 27-21. That's why I gave him an 0-2 out the box.
Right. Exactly.
My prediction is I'm going to go with a low-scoring game. Chicago Bears pull an upset and win 17-10.
I thought I was gonna be the only one. I thought I was gonna be the only one.
Let's
But I'm
go.
gonna tell y'all. I'm gonna give y'all my prediction. First of all, I just want to go on a little soliloquy real quick. I just think I cannot believe, as much as I like Kyle Shanahan, that he's actually gonna go with a unproven second second year quarterback to quarterback this playoff potential team. And I
Super Bowl
think that's
potential.
gonna be a mistake. I can only say what I feel. I know Kyle Shanahan is far more smarter than me, but I think that's gonna be their downfall. And I really feel like this is the opportunity for the Bears to jump on this with the weather, because the weather is not supposed to be nice. No George Kittle. I'm predicting a 16-13 win by the Bears.
Okay, Jay. We say 16-13.
16-13.
Okay, hold on. I have a few comments down here. We have Jason Brosda. He has the Niners winning 24-20. We have John Muhammad. He has the Bears winning 24-17. Keep coming with your predictions. Hey, Mo, Brother Tilly, what do you have?
I wouldn't say more optimistic. I'm just looking at the intangibles. I think that you're going to see a little bit more of those things exist. I think there's a lot to prove in this game. I think Justin is out to let San Fran know you made a mistake. I think he's going to play with a lot of focus. I remember the commentator said in the last preseason game where David Montgomery ran, they said he looked like he was in midseason form. That says a lot when you're playing. I'm glad that they played these players enough to get some evaluation. I think it's going to be 27-17 Bears. I think we'll get a little bit more from the defense than we think we will. I think they'll. I think San Fran is going to miss Kittles. I think the Bears are going to scheme against what's the dude that plays defense?
Bosa.
Bosa. They're going to scheme well against him. I mean, come on, you know what he's going to do. So, I think the coaching is not as naive and arrogant, and I think that's going to say volumes for how they play this game. I mean, Nagy was arrogant. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. But that's not going to work. That's okay. This is what we're going to do. I just think that they're going to pull that game out. And I think they're going to beat them significantly. I'm not saying that they're a better team, but I think they're going to be better prepared for the game number one than the Niners will be.
Okay. We got DG. Look like my thing came out. DG Daniels. He has the Bears winning 31-20.
That's what I'm talking about. There you go.
Wow. Offensive fireworks.
What you got, Mo?
I got man, I'm a homer, man. I got the Bears in an upset game-winning field goal, 17-16. 17-16 Bears. I look at it like the Bears have a lot of unknown parts that San Francisco can't study. But the Bears can study San Francisco. Yeah, we know Trey Lance, is year 2, but the Bears have a lot of unknown parts who have talent. It's just a matter of coaching. So if we run the ball down their throats, we got 3 good running backs, man.
Really good running backs. Yes, sir.
3. Mm-hmm. San Fran does too. Don't get me wrong. It's like almost the same style, because we know the Shanahans, they love that run blocking scheme, man. They got that scheme down. But Trey Lance he's not better than Fields.
He ain't ready yet. He's not ready yet.
Now,
he's not ready yet.
Now, I'm going to give them this. They are established as a coaching staff, because Shanahan, I think this is my opinion, they signed Jimmy G for the playoffs this year. because I think they're gonna bring Jimmy G in towards the end, and so he can stay healthy towards the end. Because remember, Jimmy G has a problem with staying healthy. And sure enough, last year in the playoffs, he wasn't healthy. So you put him in like in November, something like that. This dude can go on a run. We saw it. He don't turn the ball over. That's his problem. He just don't turn the ball over. So you got Debo, but the Bears have to key in on Debo. That's the key.
And just a quick thing. Justin Fields last year, he threw for 175 yards. 175 yards, a touchdown. He had 103 yards rushing and a touchdown against San Francisco in a bad offense. In a bad offense. I'm telling y'all, I think the Bears win this game more because of San Francisco than because of the Bears. Because I like Trey Lance. Trey Lance was the quarterback that I wanted in the draft last year.
Because you thought Fields wasn't going to be available.
I thought he wasn't going to be available.
Me too.
Trey Lance was the guy that I wanted last year. But I'm going to tell y'all, he's not ready yet.
Nope.
Trey Lance is not ready. He is not ready to lead this team to where they need to be. And it's going to be so unfortunate for him because I'm going to tell you, if he winds up going 5 or 12 for 65 yards in the first half in a pick, and they down 6-3 or 7-10 or 10-7, what does Kyle Shanahan do? Does he pull him and put Garoppolo in? Because if you do that, then that means Garoppolo gonna have to play for the rest of the season.
Yep.
So I just think they're putting Trey Lance in a bad situation, and it's a good situation for us because Trey Lance he's not ready yet. Trey Lance, I like Trey Lance, but he's not ready yet. He's not ready yet.
Hey,
not for this.
Jay, I believe they did not show a vote of confidence in him to me by not selecting him to be a captain.
Because
a lot of times you give your quarterback is having
your quarterback is always the captain. Your quarterback is always the captain. Your quarterback is always the captain. I'm not gonna put too much on that, but at the same time, when that was such a big, why was that such a big story? Trey Lance he's not ready yet. He's not. I like him. He's not ready yet though. He's not ready for this. He's not ready to lead the 49ers to the NFC title game. He's not ready yet.
The only thing, man, is just this either gonna be a blowout or it's gonna be a tight game, and I got the Bears in a tight game, a low-scoring tight game.
There you go.
We got another prediction here. We have Crystal Love picking the Bears 27-14.
And that's gonna be Mo. That's gonna be all season.
Right here.
Yeah.
John Muhammad says what he says. He only has two stars. Though.
And not only that, this dude Trey Lance has thrown 385 passes since 2019.
Yeah, he didn't play in college the year he got drafted.
The year he didn't even play. He sat out the COVID year. He wound up playing 2 years before that, and then last year. Trey Lance is not ready yet. I like Trey Lance. I want him to be successful.
And when he was in college, he didn't play against top tier colleges, man. He played against talent is there, but he didn't play against the Bamas. He didn't play against the Ohio States. He didn't play against Notre Dame. None of them. He didn't.
And like I said, I'm not. I don't claim to be as smart as Kyle Shanahan because I'm not in the NFL. I think I need to be, but I'm not. I'm not in the NFL, and I'm not Kyle Shanahan. So he might see some stuff that I don't see, but from my naked eye, he's not ready yet. He's not ready yet. And it's gonna be so bad if they wind up having to pull this kid because they're not getting what they need to get as a championship ready caliber team.
I don't think they're gonna pull him.
So we'll see.
Hey, I'd like to thank everybody who tuned in tonight, and make sure you subscribe to Bears Banner. And I'd like to thank Brother Talib and Mo for sitting in tonight with us. And I definitely want both of y'all to come back on the show.
We're not gonna give our season predictions on wins and losses.
Yes.
You know what? Let's y'all want to do that? I know
Yeah,
I'm
I
running a
forgot
little
about that.
tight. Let's
'Cause
go
I
with
was
the first
surprised
man
you.
battle.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. I know I'm running a little tight on time. As far as myself, I'm going to, you know what? I need to think about that. I'm still not sure on the wins and losses. You got something, Jay,
Yep,
for the
I got
season?
some. I got some. I got some. It's unfortunate. I'm gonna say 9-8.
9-8. Okay.
9-8. Yeah, I'm gonna say nine
That's
and eight.
better than expected.
It's a lot better than expected, but I'm gonna say 9-8. Like I say, not even looking at the schedule, which I know the schedule, but I can go off the top of my head 6 games that I feel like they should win, and I think the Bears will wind up winning 3 games that they shouldn't win. That people ain't expecting us to win this game, and I'm expecting us to win this game. So I'm gonna go 9-8.
Okay. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go actually 9-8 with you, Jay. John Muhammad going 10-7. Brother Talia, what you have?
Bro, I actually have 11-6. And I know that
11-6.
sounds
Okay.
like a stretch, but
I
and it's
like
not
it.
just this overly optimistic thing. I looked at the schedule. I said, these guys can win. They should win, like you said, Jay. There's certain games they should win. Coaching is going to give them 2, 3, maybe 4 games that
Absolutely,
they shouldn't win. And then I
absolutely.
think that they might luck up on some other games if the right player is out on the other team or whatever. They dealing with good health issues. They might etch out another couple games. I actually think now, mind you, I don't think they're going to be a good team per se, but I think they're going to win games.
Yep. I agree.
Okay.
I
But
agree.
I don't. So playoffs, I think they'll get wiped out of the playoffs first round. Somebody's going to kill them. But I think that and it gives them some confidence. As long as they don't do the Navy thing and go in the next season thinking we the stuff because we won 11 games. No,
because again, like I say,
you're not the stuff.
this team won 6 games last year under a bad coaching staff. They won six
Horrible
games under a
coaching staff.
bad coaching staff. So get them a good coaching staff, and I will add 3, maybe 4 games to that with the schedule that they have. And people not looking at that. They talk about the Bears are going to be a bad team. Did y'all look at the schedule? So I agree with you.
Who is Dominique Foxworth, by the way? Thank you. In the story.
Exactly.
Right. What you have more before we close out?
So I got 8 in a possible, like a spades game.
I
I got 8 in the possible.
I love it.
Possible, we always beat the Vikings. I think
At least
the Vikings,
one. Yep.
Yeah, we always beat the Vikings. But if we can get them 2 times, I got them 9 games, 9-8. So
9-8.
and that's way better than expected. They
8
got them in
possible. I
3
like
games.
it.
So,
Okay.
all
All right. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to Bears Banter. So we'll see you Sunday, approximately 3:30 on Sunday, to talk about the post game discussion. Peace.
right.